Hey guys, well I'm back with another tutorial. Today I'm going to be doing some springtime nails. I do have these acrylics available on my website, and I'm also going to be giving you guys a story time about the time I had a super toxic client that left without paying her nails. Okay, so this client asked for a super late appointment. I usually don't give appointments out after 7 o'clock at night. And so she's like, come on, I'll pay you extra. And I'm like, no, not really. I said, because I do have a family and stuff like that, so I don't like to work after 7. And she's like, yes, please, come on, I'll pay you extra. So I was like, okay, she was a new client and I really didn't want to like stay in bad terms with her if she was a first time client. So I went ahead and I gave her the appointment at 8:30. Mind you, she came in like almost at 9. So there I was. She didn't even tell me that she had nails to be removed. So it just took me even longer. Her nails were super designed, so I took around an hour and a half to remove all the rhinestones, all the 3D, and soak them down because they were super long. So anyway, when I was done removing her nails, she says, oh my god, it's like super late already. You think you can hurry up? And I'm like, okay. I said, well, what design did you want? If you pick something that's not so complicated, we can finish faster. And she's like, well, I want these. And she took a screenshot from her phone and she showed me. I'm like, that's a lot of design. So she also had nails that were like 3D flowers and rhinestones and all these different colors. Like every single nail had a different color. And I said, well, that's going to take me like at least 2 hours. And she's like, 2 hours? Everyone says that you're like the fastest nail tech here in the valley. And I'm like, who said that? And she's like, well, I don't know, but I want these. And can you please hurry up because I have to go to dinner with my family. And I'm thinking, dinner? It's like super late. But so I was trying to hurry up so that I could like get her out of there. And the whole time she kept saying, oh, do you know this nail tech? And I'm like, yeah, I've heard of her. And she's like, oh, well, she does really, really nice designs. And I was like, yeah, she does. And then she's like, have you been to this nail salon? Because they charge really, really good prices there. And I'm thinking, okay, what is all this about? And so I proceeded to start her nails. And, I was doing all the colors and starting all the design. And she's like, I didn't want this color on my nails. Like, I told you this color. And I'm like, I know, but that's the only color I have. And it's like almost exact to the one that you're asking for. And she's like, well, if you didn't have the color, you could have just told me. And I'm like, no, well, it looks very, very similar. And she's like, no, it doesn't. This one has shimmer and the other one doesn't. And I'm like, I know, but I'm going to add a little bit of glitter on top. And she's like, I don't want glitter. Like, everything I was doing was a bother to her. And I'm thinking, okay, like, what did I get myself into? So finally, I was almost done with the design. And she's like, can I have your nail file? Because these nails are like super crooked. And I was like, okay. So she like takes the nail file out of my hand and starts filing them. And I'm like, are you sure you don't want me to do that? She's like, no, you don't even know how to file nails. And I'm like, okay. So, I mean, I really didn't want to fight with the lady or anything. So I was just like, no. She said, I was like, I'll fix them. Like, don't worry, it takes a little bit of time, but I can fix it. And it wasn't really anything I needed to fix. Like, I really didn't do them like crooked or anything. She was just being very picky. So she finally gives me the nail file back and she's like, kind of like throws it at me. And she's like, can you just hurry up because I have to get out of here. And I'm like, okay, well, I tried to go as fast as I could. And by this time, I'm like frustrated and angry, because she's being like super mean to me. And I'm like, girl, calm down. Like, you're the one that came here, If you saw my work on the websites and you saw my work online, like, why are you acting like that? So anyway, I was like trying to hurry up so I could get her out of there. And so we're almost done, right? I'm doing the filing and I'm gonna start buffing up at the top. And she gets a phone call. And she's like, can you hold on? She's like, I'm gonna answer this really quick. And I'm like, okay. So she's talking to someone and she's like, well, I don't care, I don't blah blah blah. Like, she's saying all these bad words, and she's like, you're gonna have to wait for me, and you better not eat without me, and it's this fuck F girl's fault. And I'm like, excuse you? Like, what do you mean it's my fault? Like, you're the one that set up a late appointment, right? And I'm trying to argue with her at the same time while she's arguing on the phone. And she's like, what is wrong with you? Like, why would you take so long on my nails? I'm like, ma'am, you had to remove your old acrylics. Like, it takes long. So by this time we were like, I don't know, maybe like 2.5 hours in, because I'm almost done, right? So she's like screaming to whoever she's talking to on the phone, and she's screaming at me all at the same time. And I'm like, I don't have to put up with this, right? So I was like, ma'am, can you just please hang up your phone, calm down, and sit down so that I can finish my work? And she's like, work? Is this what you call work? And I'm like, yes, I have 15 years of professional experience. I said, and I don't think there is anything wrong with the nails. There's something wrong with you, but not with the nails, right? So she sits down and she like bangs her hand on the table, like for me to hurry up. And she's like, don't make me finish this myself. She goes, because I know how to do nails as well. And I'm thinking, well, if you know how to do nails, why the hell didn't you just do them in your own house, right? Or your own place? So she's like, just hurry up already. And I'm like, okay. So I start, trying to finish. Like, at this point, I didn't even want to finish her nails anymore. I was just kind of like, oh my God, like, this lady needs to get the heck out of here. And she's screaming so loud that my husband comes in, because I have a studio, in my home. So my husband, like, opens the door and is like, why are you all yelling, right? I didn't say anything. I just nodded my head and he closed the door. And so the lady just proceeds to yell at me like, can you just freaking hurry up? And I'm like, girl, like, I'm not gonna cut you either, like, if I'm going in a hurry, I'm gonna cut you, or I'm gonna do something that's not gonna be, safe. And so anyway, I finally finish, and she's like, oh my freaking gosh, like, she's saying all these bad words. And I'm like, you know what, at this point, I don't even want her money. I just want her to get out of there. But that was her whole point, because she stood up and she's like, oh my gosh, how much is it gonna be? And I'm like, well, it's like $55. And she's like, why? She's like, on your post it says you charge $35. And I'm like, yeah, without design and without nail removal. So she's like, well, I don't have $55. She's like, let me check my card, right? So she proceeds to take her credit card out, and she's like, oh my God, where is it? So she starts calling whoever she was talking to on the phone previously, and she's like, do you have my card? And I don't know what they told her, but she's like, oh my gosh, like, you knew I was gonna get my nails done. So she's like, you know what, I'm gonna be right back, because this guy took the card out of my purse and he knew I was gonna get my nails done. And I'm thinking, like, whatever. So she leaves, right? She leaves, and I never hear from her again. Like, she blocked me and everything. I was like, what the heck? I was like, ugh. I was just happy she was out of there. And she's never contacted me ever again, thank God. I don't know who she is, where she came from, or anything, but she was there to not pay for her nails. Since she sat down, she already knew what she was gonna do. But anyway, that's the story of the most toxic client I've ever had. I've never had anybody else except for some other girl that, I'm not even gonna say it, but she didn't pay for her extensions, her hair extensions, at the time when I was doing hair extensions. So that one that didn't pay for her nails and the one that didn't pay for her hair extensions were like the top of the toxic nail clients. So this is how the nails came out. And remember, if you like any of these products, they are linked in my description. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys come back for story time because I have a lot of stories to share. Bye.